I don't know if I'm more ready for the actual death. I'm definitely more ready for the service, which I won't even be aware of. But I think I've made it clear that please do not burn me. Like, I really don't want that somebody in my family to be like, I think he said he wanted to be cremated. No, I said on a show not to. I don't want to be in an urn anywhere, ever.
Hello, and welcome to Grave Conversations, the only show where your favorite celebrities get to lie down. I'm your host, David Dastmalchian. Today's guest is someone that we hope lives for a very long time. My casket buddy today was the undisputed WWE champion, making him the first guest the casket is actually afraid of. He's appeared on Arrow, The Naked Gun, but soon you will see him as Guile in the Street Fighter movie. I can tell you it is something very special, and it's coming out this fall. Please welcome Cody Rhodes. Cody, how is that luxurious casket lining feeling for you?
I want to thank you for such a nice introduction. The casket was one layer of, this is maybe a bit out of the comfort zone. Your delivery on that introduction and just the low tempo is equally unnerving. And I feel like that's probably where we need to be.
Something about laying down, like I'm so, as you know, as performers, we're so used to doing so, like in a spotlight, on our feet, you know, and something about laying down and just being able to chill and relax. But when I got to meet you, I was intimidated and I was excited, and I was also like, what is this guy gonna do with this thing? And I just have to say, man, it was so impressive, like seeing your ability to create in the moment. You're so talented. I cannot wait for people to see what you do, and I feel really thrilled to get to be a part of the film with you and so many others. We had a pretty kick-ass group around us, wouldn't you say?
Didn't we? My gosh, what a crew. It was almost comedic how the amount of talent out there. My gosh.
That was awesome. Well, we're thrilled to have you. We have really tough questions. I would like to dive in with some of the hardest stuff first.
The hard-hitting stuff, right?
Yeah, we've got to go that way.
Can I ask you a question before we
please.
Start?
Anything you want.
Has anyone said I'm taking it to the grave on here? Like on multiple occasions?
Not until just this moment.
Nobody's punning that out yet?
And that hasn't happened. Are you
man,
ready?
See, you get the good stuff because you take it to the grave, but now we're in the grave.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Skeleton's coming out.
Cody Rhodes.
Right?
Undisputed joke champion also, I'd say. This opening segment we call, you may have heard about it, it's quite popular on the TikToks and the Instas and all that good stuff.
With the
it's
kids.
Called the questions you need to answer before you die, as the kids call it, quintabid. Would you rather fight one emotionally unstable swan or 5 very calm raccoons?
I think the answer is always going to be you want to fight the very calm, the raccoons.
Okay.
You're outnumbered. Raccoons are more intelligent than people think. They also have a way about them that garners sympathy because they look a certain way. Also, we have Rocket, who everyone thinks the trash pandas are, friendly when they're I don't want to use they're vermin. They're digging through your trash. They're not pet friendly per se, but anything that's emotionally unstable. Some people gravitate towards emotionally unstable, and you're saying the swan is unstable?
Yeah, the swan is emotionally unstable.
You never want to be around it.
Cody, if your reflection could talk back, what would its main complaint be?
I think its main complaint, my reflection, would be get over yourself. David, I'm going to be honest.
Okay.
I'm above a 7 on the look scale,
Yeah, you are.
I've been a good-looking man for some time.
Yeah, you are.
And when you're a good-looking man, you take things for granted. And I think I'm at the point now as the looks are starting to fade and they're kind of just propping me together like Frankenstein. You want to get over yourself a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Like, remember what it was like to be the 6th grader who didn't want to go to Whitewater, the amusement park, because he had a little belly. That was me. I need to find that kid in the reflection,
I want to see Cody Rhodes with a little belly.
Little belly, and then 6th grade, you shouldn't care about this.
Shouldn't.
But Matt, what's his face, taking off his shirt and he's got an 8-pack. Like,
There's
Come
always a
on.
Matt What's-His-Face. The Matt What's-His-Face when I was a kid also had hairy armpits. He had a
Oh.
deepening voice. He had the ripped muscles. And I was like,
David, where's he at now?
that's right. Matt, where you at?
No, I mean, like, have you seen him?
No, I haven't seen him because I kept growing and he stayed the same height. And eventually he was so small, I towered
Dude.
over him.
The hot guy in my high school, same thing. He stayed there.
Yeah.
So those hairy armpits and that being able to,
Eventually it just smelled bad.
Yeah.
You know?
His name was Taylor.
Okay, Taylor, I hope you're watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, my reflection could talk back. That's an intense question. This is the first time I've ever asked that, but that was a great answer. Thank you. If your brain had a hold music, what song would it be playing 90% of the time?
Oh gosh, I think it's too easy to go with anything that you're like listening to here in the moment, you know? And then every artist has been canceled, so you gotta be careful. Like, you don't know who's being canceled right at this moment.
I mean,
but you
right
also,
as we're doing this interview.
right, you also want to
don't
go
know.
with your heart. I kind of go back to, I don't even know what the song is about, but the first CD I bought where I had gotten chore money and actually gone to a place called Media Play. You know, this is before the downloads. This is pre-Napster even. You know, this is
We talking cassette or CD?
CD.
Okay.
CD.
Because I'm cassette old.
Okay, so there's people in this room now have no clue what either of those mediums are. My social guy in his hood over there, probably vaping, doesn't even know what a CD is. But it was Our Lady Peace was the band, a Canadian band.
Oh, sure.
And I think the name of the album is Happiness is Not a Fish That You Can Catch. And I want to say the song is Anybody Home? I'm saying this real delicately because I should know this, because I actually came out my first wrestling entrance music at OVW before Darkness, A Thing Called Love, which was a wild choice that I don't regret at all.
I love that,
I don't regret it at all.
So awesome.
But it was Is Anybody Home? I don't even really know what the song is about, but that's probably the most replayed song in my real life. So if my brain is sitting at a vibrational still and there's that song playing, I think it would be Is Anybody Home? I do. See, here's what I think is tricky about this question though, is it'd be way cooler to say something really catchy or clever.
Oh, sure. Like, is it For Whom the Bell? It's like badass
Yeah.
too. But then you'd be exhausted after being on hold for 20 minutes. You know,
Right.
it has to be the right thing that you could listen to infinitely.
If we're
you know?
going to the grave, we have to be authentic.
We're going to the grave.
So that's my authentic one. That's it.
What rule would you add to being in an elevator?
There is a famous set of video games made by the master Hideo Kojima called Metal Gear Solid. In the game, if you press the elevator button multiple times, it comes faster. So it's a stealth game.
It works.
Yes.
The thing that we've all done that never works, it works in Metal Gear Solid.
That is the beauty, and the
That's a
thing
good
we've all
rule.
done, and in that world it works. So if I was to add a rule to elevator, I would say pressing it makes it go faster, and I'd give it a little a subcode of a rule, a supplementary rule that just being on an elevator with somebody doesn't mean you have to talk to them. We don't have to talk.
Thank you.
We're better if we don't. We don't need to share this moment together.
Thank you.
We just need to share this elevator. One of the things about me is I loathe small talk.
Yeah.
And if this has become, as I have started to get more arrogant as I've gotten older and just generally rude. If someone talks to me about the weather, I'll tell you what I do. I legit don't speak back.
Yeah.
If someone says like, how about that rain? Nothing.
Not a thing.
Stare right through them.
Yeah.
Because is it really that important that we, no,
It's not.
no.
You could say, bye.
Yeah.
Or like, thank you. Floor 12.
Oh man.
Floor 12.
I'm gonna start hitting people with thank you.
That's all I need. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I wrestled in a church. There was about 60 people, and because I was so scared that I didn't know what was next, I just screamed, "What's next?" I'm sure it's been said before, I feel very alive. As you can see, as he is an interviewer, he's actually listening to your response. So I feel very alive.
When you were born, did you wrestle other babies in the hospital, or did you have to learn?
I want to tell you that I wrestled all the babies.
And one.
And I pinned him for 3 and was the baby champion. But there's a little controversy around my birth. Apparently, I was one of these little jaundice babies, like a yellow babe.
Sure.
And apparently, according to my sister, I was in some sort of incubator. So like a sick yellow baby.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I was actually wrestling any kids or
So
not.
in our attempt to make a fun, silly bit out of a question, we've actually now resurrected trauma for your mom and your whole family.
Well, I'm the baby of the family.
You're the
and
baby.
like, for example, my baby book is halfway full. My sister's baby book is 3 books.
Do you remember your first ever real match?
Well, I wrestled in a church. There was about 60 people.
Yes.
And I was very nervous. I had black trunks. They said CR, black boots. I got them off this website called High Spots. And the guy I was wrestling who had experience was also experiencing a bit of an identity crisis and was going through different characters. He was just trying to figure himself out. He was doing a stereotypical nerd gimmick, which now the world is run by nerds and we're all nerds, but he was doing 80s style nerd. Climb the ropes instead of getting in, hair's all goofed up, pants are above his belly button, all these things, glasses, nothing we make fun of today, but he had a field day with it in the 80s. He had the experience, I had no clue what we were doing, and the very first thing we were supposed to do was something like duck a clothesline, hit him with a drop kick, which I did, nailed it, good drop kick too. So I ducked his clothesline, hit him with a drop kick, and then he went to the outside. Within pro wrestling, we call that taking a powder. He powders to the outside. So he's just getting a little bit of heat. The 60 people there are booing. Everything's all good. And because I was so scared that I didn't know what was next, I just looked at him outside the ring. And instead of saying like, come on, or you're chicken, or hey, get back in here, anything, I just screamed, what's next? And he looked at me with a stare, like a death stare. I had just exposed our whole industry, but I was really nervous.
You just pulled the curtain back, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was really nervous.
What do we do now?
Yeah, and that all could have been figured out. I could have asked the referee, and the referee could have whispered it to him. He wasn't running in the ring or anything. I mean, wrestling, it's simple. When you get lost, if you're a prospective pro wrestler, you're trying to win, trying not to lose. That's all you ever have to do. Try to win, try not to lose. The rest will figure itself out.
What's a misconception people have about you?
That may be the deepest thing I've heard all day. I think so much of pro wrestling is perception and presentation. 2 misconceptions about me. The largest one being is that I like working out. I loathe working out. Loathe it. I beg for the day that I am 50 years old, 55, maybe 60, and I'm wearing Tommy Bahama, and I've got a perpetual sunburn, and I'm just down at 30A at the beach or outside of a car that's never gonna work properly, talking to the other guy across from me about what you need to do to the radiator hose or whatever. And I want that life. No working out, triple chins.
Get that 6th grade belly back.
Big, yes.
Yeah,
Bring it back and bring it back with pride.
I love it.
Bring it back with pride. So that's a misconception. I've been working out since I was 14. I despise it.
Okay.
Despise it. And every trainer you get is always like, haha, yeah, I got you. Huh. No, I hate you. I dislike you. I don't want to know you. It's deep.
Yeah.
It's deep. And very few have ever figured out that my dislike is deep for working out. The second misconception, which the first answer might have informed the second one, people think I'm way friendlier than I am. Way friendlier. And my brother is the friendliest guy on the planet. So if they met Dustin, they're like, oh, I love your brother. And then you have to like, ugh.
Well, I can confirm and reaffirm you're very mean.
Yeah.
Not nice at all.
Yeah, thank you.
We spent a lot of time together in Australia, and you made things deeply uncomfortable. No, bullshit. I think you're lovely, but that's all right.
We rode that ride together that we
did.
forced it.
I went-
tall men
Yep.
getting in the, what was it, the
mousetrap? The mousetrap, the tiny little cars. I was just at Knott's Scary Farms telling that story last night going, you see that thing up there? I rode one of those with Cody Rhodes. That's how cool I am.
It felt unsafe, didn't it?
It felt so unsafe.
Yeah,
And
it felt like we were about to go off the
Because
edge.
you are who you are and you seem fearless, I was like, oh, he seems cool with it. We must be cool with it. At the end of it, I realized we both were like scared shitless.
Yeah.
That the thing was going to go off the rack. Yeah.
Well, we were both scared, but I'm the type of fearless that is, I'm going off of the room.
yeah.
So, like basically, if there are other men in the room,
Yeah.
I just have that toxic level of oh, I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Even if it's the dumbest thing you could possibly do.
Sure.
So that's all it was. You were big.
I did it.
Yeah, you were over 6 foot.
I was like,
need
we
him
can
to
do
know
this.
I can do the mousetrap with another man,
Sure.
and we did.
Cody, we travel the world over with our work and, we love what we do, but things, I think terms, words start to take on different meaning over
Yeah.
these years we spend pursuing this. And I'm curious, what does the word home mean to you now after years of traveling and going all over the place doing what you do?
I think home is simple for me. Home is always going to be where the 3 girls are. My wife, Brandy, and Liberty, my oldest daughter, and then Leilani, who was born while we were filming Street Fighter. And how you know it's home is my long-standing best friend, the all-white Siberian Husky, Pharaoh, is laying sideways somewhere awkwardly where you have to step over him, no matter what kitchen space it is. His presence makes it home for me. And because of the nature of entertainment and what we do, those are the only components I need for it to be home.
I agree. My loved ones and my cat, and then my old weird Uncle Al spread over the floor. No, just kidding. Just my kids, my cat, and wherever. It doesn't
That's
need to
home.
be a physical location anymore.
Nah. Can I tell you something about that question?
Yeah.
I'm taking this to the grave.
Take it to the grave.
I grew up wanting to be 2 things. One was a pro wrestler, and the other, please, if anyone laughs in this room, I'm not going to do anything because I'm in a prone position already, but I wanted to be the president of the United States. And part of my weird presidential speech that I used to give myself in the mirror was I would ask, and this was something I did as a kid. This was a child. Excuse me for this vulnerable story. I'd ask my fictional children at the time, do you want to live in the White House during my Democratic nomination party that I was going to run, Democrat, blue tie, all that. And then no matter what, this is during the big speech you give at the convention. I've thought so hard about this because I used to give this fake speech in the mirror like a complete sociopath. And I'd ask them, do you want to live in the White House, sweetie? I assumed they were both going to be girls, which in turn I got 2 girls out of it. But then my whole big turnaround would be, hey, even if we don't, no matter where we live, as long as it's filled with love. And the room would go, aw, and that would be a nice part of the speech. That is a legit, terrifying secret that I've just shared with you.
I love
about a
that.
speech I gave up until the time I was about 18 in my mirror. I gave my full speech from the Democratic convention.
That's incredible.
Yeah, well, my dad loved political theater.
Yeah.
Not politics, though.
No, the political theater of it all.
Just political theater.
Which is now in its zenith.
Yeah, so when Bill shows up playing the saxophone
Yeah.
on late night TV, yep, voting for him.
Yeah.
Like that, political theater. You surround yourself with good, smart people to do the actual policy.
then the
You're
theater.
rolling all this, stand up there, look good, say what the country needs to hear you say at that moment, move on. Boom, Final Destination style.
There it is.
I'm doing grave conversations with my friend David. That microphone positioned directly above my head falls, bam. Yeah, no, dogs are definitely better than cats. We love cats though. Love all animals.
We've gotten into some good stuff so far. This has been a very great, grave conversation. But on it, we do want to normalize conversations about death. It's something that I talked to you about when I asked if you'd be interested in possibly joining me in the casket. And I think it's important trying to get people to open up and talk in the public space about death and dying. Are you ready to talk about end of life, celebrations, funerals, all that good stuff?
You're challenging me with this, and I certainly, yes, I am ready.
Challenge accepted. It's
Yes.
time for a segment we call Death Wish. Now, if you got to pick, Cody Rhodes, how would you like to die?
I think it's unrealistic to expect death in a quiet and peaceful manner.
Okay.
I think it's beautiful when that happens, when someone can just go to sleep and that be the end. I think so many of us want that for others and no pain. But, and I'm not trying to sound cool in stating this, I just don't feel that's what's going to happen for me.
Okay.
I feel that it's going to be the tip of the spear, essentially. I feel that it's going to be in the midst of the action. I feel like I'm not going to see it coming.
Okay.
And I don't know if that's something physical, you know, pro wrestling being my job. I certainly don't think it's that. But I just think I'm not going to see it coming, and I prefer to think I'm not going to see it coming. I don't see myself getting very old. I'd like to get old, but I don't see myself getting very old.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure.
And none of the Runnels men or the Rhodes men have really gotten up there in age. So maybe I'll be the first.
I mean,
Maybe.
It's possible.
It's possible, but
I would love it.
you
But
know.
like, yeah, it could be like tip of the spear. It's just one of those things. It's just like we're ice fishing one day, and all of a sudden you're in
Yes.
the middle of telling a joke. You go to pop your drink, and then the ice just cracks, and there you go. It's like, bye, Cody.
Boom, Final Destination style.
There it is.
I'm doing grave conversations with my friend David. That microphone positioned directly above my head falls, bam.
It
out.
took me years of acting with rigs above me to get comfortable knowing that they're not just going to fall on my
Yeah.
face, by the way. Have you ever done any funeral planning for yourself? Do you ever talk to your wife about this stuff?
No, I think I've internalized, you know, when you have deaths in the family and you kind of see how a funeral is put together and the business of it all, I think I've internalized some things that I don't want.
Sure.
You know, I'll tell you, I don't want to be cremated. Please
Got it.
do not cremate me.
We won't.
And I don't want to be buried.
Okay.
So what are the mausoleums?
Sure. Yeah.
What is the-
Okay, you're going to be above ground. We're going to put
I
you
would like
in
to be above ground.
Yeah.
I know that still counts as in a casket. And I feel
But
like,
no. You're not buried under the earth. So you're going to be in a mausoleum.
yes,
Totally.
I feel like I don't want to be buried under the earth. And the biggest one for me is, I don't know if you ever read this graphic novel. I widely consider it my favorite DC graphic novel of all time. And it made me a comic book fan later in my life after I drifted away. There's a book called Identity Crisis.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah.
Identity Crisis has one of the greatest funeral scenes of all time because all of them showed up in gimmick, full gear. So when my time comes, I want the wrestling world in full gimmick. Mm-hmm. And bury me in the American Nightmare Sandra Grey robe, bury me as I was.
Yeah.
I spent so much time giving back to pro wrestling and taking from pro wrestling and love it that I got to play a superhero, and I'd like to go out a superhero.
It's beautiful. It's been documented here now on Grave Conversations. So now the document exists, so we know when it comes time to plan. I'd like to come in gimmick, which would either be as Dr. Fearless, my horror host character that I play, or just as full M. Bison. And I think you and I will have that conversation, and you can tell me which you prefer.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I don't know if I'm supposed to spoil it for anybody, but I've seen you as M. Bison. And that's who I want at my funeral,
You got it.
with his best hat.
What do you think happens after we die?
My answer might disappoint you, might not. I don't think anything happens when we die. And what I mean by that is, I'm not a faithless individual by no means. I'm out there seeking myself for the higher meaning of all of this. But I think the time you have on earth is the time you have on earth. I think the one go round is the most important thing. I've never liked individuals who collected points for an afterlife, perhaps, when you're living your life now. Make the right decisions now. Make the right choices. Do the things that fill your soul up now, because to me, if this casket was to shut, and I certainly hope it does not, to me that's it. It's lights out. And I hope I'm wrong. I do. I've had a few dogs cross the Rainbow Bridge. I'd love to see my dad again because he missed all the good stuff. And I'd love to at least like, hey, explain some of it to him. But I'm also so excited and happy and thrilled, and I love what I got already. So to me, I think nothing happens. And I also, with that same statement, hope I'm very wrong. I'd like to make it very difficult for the men that enter my daughter's lives. And not in an old school shotgun on the table way. In a way that I'm gonna set a standard so high, you better come correct. Or these girls are gonna be living with me forever. I will say David does bring the grave and casket energy everywhere he goes. Also in a way that's not incredibly alarming. More of a, oh yeah, that's what I expected.
Thank you so much for opening up with us today. Let's talk about what's happening with you in your life outside of the casket.
Yeah.
As we've been saying, we just wrapped a very special film called Street Fighter. This is a segment we call Living for This. What are you working on personally, professionally, stuff that makes you feel most alive right now?
Well, I mean, for me, the thing that's always made me feel most alive, and now more than ever, really just the fire is not even close to being out, is I love pro wrestling. I love sports entertainment. I love WWE. The fact that we're heading towards WrestleMania again in Las Vegas, and the idea I lost at Allegiant Stadium. You've got 50 to 80,000 people at these events 2 nights in a row to perform in stadiums. As a wrestler who watched, talking about my first match in front of maybe, generously 60 people, to be in front of stadiums. And I always looked at pro wrestling as a higher form of storytelling than a lot of people would give it credit. And when it's at its best, it's some of the greatest storytelling out there. It's nuanced, it's unique. It makes you leave not having just bought a ticket, but you've bought hope, you've bought fear, you've bought excitement. So for me, it's still the thing that excites me the very most professionally is pro wrestling. All that professional wonderfulness is very secondary to the fact that now I have at the time we're doing this, she's not even 6 months. She's a baby. I have a baby girl, Leilani, and then I have Liberty, who's 4 years old, gonna be 5. I had wonderful parents, and I think if my dad had set a precedent for being a great pro wrestler ahead of me, he set an even more difficult precedent with being a great father. So that is the number one thing that I'd like to be working on. And I'll go ahead and say it. I'd like to make it very difficult for the men that enter my daughter's lives. And not in an old school shotgun on the table way. In a way that I'm gonna set a standard so high, you better come correct. Or these girls are gonna be living with me forever. I am very excited about that chapter of my life of being a father.
It's awesome, man. That's so great. And with what you said about being an actor, I mean, you've obviously were in Naked Gun, and you're really now going into a big space with the Street Fighter role, but it's something that you have a great gift for, as well as obviously your
You think I could do more
wrestling.
movies?
I think you'd be in a lot more movies, and I take it as seriously as you do, and I hope I could actually get in the ring at some point. I think I'd be a great manager. I think there's a whole role for me in that world. I think I could come in and mess some stuff up.
What are you talking about?
And
manager, you get big frame on you.
Okay, all right, well, I'll do it. I'll go, but my
David, you a heavyweight, baby.
My thing is,
you just stand on the apron. I'll take care of them, tag you in. Hit whatever you want to hit.
I mean, I'm not joking. The monster is coming. My brother and I were wrestlers as kids. We had a whole circuit that we ran. I was the backyard barbarian. He was the hyper hot dog. And we had everyone in the neighborhood would come in and we would wrestle. And it was all day, every day. Backyard Barbarian wants to come back. He wants to come back. But I mean, what I saw in you is what I see in myself. I love story. I love storytelling. I think it's a unifying force. It's so powerful. And I don't care if it's 12 rounds in a ring, if it's doing 12th night. I don't care if it's SummerSlam, if it's Summer Stock Theater. To me, it's powerful. And I love it. And I
want to see the Backyard Barbarian, but I can tell you what's so powerful is the story of you transforming into the Backyard Barbarian. not unlike how Mick Foley would become Cactus Jack and would become Dude Love.
Yeah.
Because Backyard Barbarian is a little difficult for me to say, hey, I'm bringing my partner to SummerSlam. Guess who he is? The Backyard Barbarian. You know, I'm going to say it because they're going to tell me to say it. But that story of you actually becoming that, it's a lot of young men and women these days, the dream of being a pro wrestler, the wrestling with their siblings. It's all right there. You already know what to do. My family's super superstitious, so the idea of this would be a no-go. This would be an absolutely, that's such your tempting fate, but again, another man challenged me to do it, so I had to do it, yeah.
Oh my God, thank you so much for being on the show. Before we bury this interview, we have a thing that we ask all of our guests to do, and I'd be honored if you would do it for us.
Okay.
We would like you to give your own Y.O.U.logy. It's spelled out Y-O-U-logy. So when I say die, it's like you've walked into your own funeral. You'll have 60 seconds to give yourself your own eulogy. I want the real stuff. This is your chance to let us all know how we should remember you after you go. There's going to be no second chances. There's no pressure here. Just be perfect, okay? 3, 2, 1, die.
Here lies Cody Rhodes. He was known in the Roswell, Georgia area and by the government as Cody Runnels. He was married to Brandy Rhodes, the owner and operator of Pinkerton's Kids Boutique on Cannon Street in Roswell, Georgia. One of his last wishes is that you go and check out those sweet deals. He was the father of future Olympic gold medalist Liberty Iris and father of future President of the United States, Leilani Ella. He despised small talk. He despised nostalgia, which is why he likes the film The Last Jedi, because they did not make Luke Skywalker have an 8-pack and be young. He was just a broken old man with one good punch left, and that's what happens when we get old. It's a good movie, I stand by it. He stood by it. He wanted to be a pro wrestler like his father before him and had a chip on his shoulder trying to break every record from the 80s and the 90s. He might have done that, and then all the old wrestlers get mad at him because he talks about it. He was a Husky owner and an avid theme park fan. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Cody Rhodes. Also, my friend. Time's up. And now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to chase some dreams. Bye.
Now I'm the host of Grave Conversations. David? Oh. He was really nice to me on the Street Fighter set. Good guy. Good man. Hell of a Bison. Also, I didn't mention it, but there's this great TNG episode where they just freeze themselves. That would have been the way to go. You freeze yourself. It's the season 1 finale of TNG. In the Neutral Zone. That's the name of the episode.